Music to the Rescue by Sara de Miguel Hernández. Once upon a time, in the countryside in China, lived a virus. His name was 19. 19 worked as a chemist, making perfumes for the people in the village. 19 loved reading books about all the parts of the world. He wanted to visit all those places and travel the world. One day I will visit every country in the world, he used to say to his family. Then, one morning, working in his shop, 19 made a new perfume, which smelled wonderful. He gave samples to all his family and friends. They all loved it and started wearing it all the time. After a couple of weeks, his family and friends started feeling sick. So sick, in fact, they had to stay at home and recover. 19 was feeling very healthy and soon started to miss having fun with his friends. He loved going on adventures and so decided it was time to explore the world. He did not have any money, so he could not travel by car or by plane. Instead, his way of traveling was from handshake to handshake, and every person he met will take him to his next destination. He was having such a good time. Before he left China, he packed in his suitcase as many bottles of his perfume as he could, to give as a gift to all the new friends he would meet on his travels. He first did a tour around Asia, and everywhere he went, he was welcomed by very friendly people. He would give them a bottle of his perfume, and they were all wearing it. After a couple of days, they too got sick and could not spend more time with him. 19 was very upset because he could not play with his new friends, so he decided he would visit Europe. He had always dreamed about traveling around Europe and visiting all the beautiful cities with the rich history he had read about in his books. His first stop would be Italy, and with the help of an Italian friend he met at the airport, he was on a plane to Rome. What a beautiful country, he thought. He wanted to visit every single city and try the amazing Italian food. He knew they were great cooks in Italy. The books describe Italy as a country with beautiful scenery as well as a lot of history and museums. 19 found that the Italian people were very friendly and they were very happy not even to just handshake, but to give him 2 kisses and hugs when he arrived. He had found a nice place to stay far away from all the sick people he had left behind in China and Asia. Italian people were very healthy and tan. They enjoyed cooking lovely recipes. He was eating such a delicious meals every single day. What a great life, he thought to himself. He became friends with an Italian girl called Zoe. She was a gorgeous little girl and she loved singing and dancing. 19 loved spending time with her, and one day he gave Zoe one of his perfume bottles. Zoe's voice was so beautiful. 19 loved listening to her melodic tones. One afternoon, 19 went to Zoe's house and asked her to come outside and sing together. Zoe said she was not feeling very well and she was making a fruit juice in her mini bimby to make her feel better. 19 did not know what bimby was, but he was happy to see his friend Zoe having a nice juice, and hopefully it would stop the coughing and she will sing again very soon. What 19 did not know was that Zoe was allergic to his perfume, and that was why she was coughing. He was a good virus, and he did not want to upset his new Italian friend, so he decided it was time to visit a new place. He had always heard of the sunshine in Spain, and he thought he could do with some tan in spring. He met a Spanish gentleman at the airport and he helped him to go to Madrid. What a great city! He walked around the city center and there were so many people welcoming him. He hugged all of them and kissed them to show how much he loved them for giving him the opportunity to see the sun. He shared with them samples of his perfume, and they all thanked him for such a generous gift. He was meeting a lot of people, and he was so happy. For the first time in his life, he had made a lot of friends that they liked his perfume. He saw a boy with a guitar walking down the street. He was a musician, and 19 have always wanted to learn how to play an instrument. His days in the village back in China were very quiet, and he always wondered what would it be to play music for his family and friends. The musician's name was David. 19 was afraid that David would not want to be his friend like what had happened in Italy with Zoe. So instead, he followed David to his house, but stayed at a distance. 19 sat on a balcony next to David's bedroom, and he listened to David playing his guitar all day long. He loved spending time there watching what David was doing. Spending time on the balcony, 19 found the temperature in Madrid colder than what he had initially expected. This is probably the reason why the streets are getting quieter and quieter, he thought. People are probably at home keeping warm. And he smiled. He would go every day to see David playing his instruments. David played the guitar, the piano, and the drums. He was so talented. 19 loved listening to his songs and his voice. Some days David would sit in his chair and start doing yoga poses, looking at this computer, and 19 could see there was a girl on this other side of the screen doing the same yoga poses, sitting on the chair. Sarah was the chair yoga teacher. David loved practicing yoga to stretch his body and also to meditate. After doing the chair yoga class, David was very creative and wrote beautiful lyrics and melodies. 19 was so impressed with all the new things he was learning from David. David also loved cooking. Not just any type of cooking though. He made magic. He would put a red pepper and tomatoes into a machine called bimbi, and he would come up with a soup right there in 2 seconds. He remembered Zoe in Italy said she had a mini bimbi. Now he knew what bimbi was. David was not only a musician, but also a magician. 19 really wanted to become friends with David. So one day, he got close to him and entered his house and introduced himself. David was happy to see 19 and hug him and offer him some of the magic soup he had made in his bimbi. 19 told David how his Italian friend Zoe also had a mini bimbi and she made lovely fruit juices with it. 19 was so grateful for the food that in exchange he gave David a bottle of his perfume. David was a good friend and they shared music and lovely meals together. 19 felt so lucky. They spent a lot of time together where David would play over and over all his songs for 19. Play it one more time, please, 19 would request. After a couple of days, David started feeling sick and he was not able to play his guitar anymore. 19 was getting worried because his friend was not leaving the house and his smile had disappeared. He thought David did not like his perfume, the same as Zoe in Italy, and decided to go to a new destination. But before he left, he wanted to say goodbye to his good friend David one last time. When he was going to leave David's house, he saw that David's chair yoga teacher Sarah came to visit him, and she started cooking for David with the bimbi. While the bimbi was cooking, Sarah used a chair and started practicing chair yoga like 19 had seen David doing before in front of his computer. 19 decided to stay and watch. He really wanted to try the delicious food one last time. Sarah was making a lovely chocolate ice cream when at the end of the recipe, the bimbi started making a big noise. To Sarah's surprise, the noise was unbearable. and she could not stop it. She was getting worried when David came running into the kitchen to help Sarah, and he started playing with his guitar. The noise from the bimby and the music from the guitar made a lovely melody. As if by magic, the music was making David feeling better and better. This melody was the medicine that David needed, and he started looking healthier. His smile was back, and he had energy, so he started playing music again for Sarah. Sarah was so happy to see his friend back on his feet and back singing such a beautiful melody. David had found the cure to his illness. The music coming out of the bimby had been the solution. 19 did not know what to do, how to leave the house or where to go. The music had hurt him, and now he was feeling very weak. David could see 19 feeling weaker, so he started playing more and more music with the bimby until 19 started disappearing. Sarah could not believe it and started saying, you did it, David! You found the cure for 19! David hugged Sarah and said, we have to tell this to everybody. There was an option on the bimby screen to send the song to every bimby machine around the world. Every household received the melody that David had used to cure his illness. The music spread very fast throughout different countries around the world. First, from Spain to Italy to Zoe's house. Zoe had friends in Ireland, then Australia, Malaysia, and so many more countries after that. Every time the melody was played, people would start smiling as they listened to the song. The music was inspiring for them to cook healthy meals with their families, as they were feeling stronger and stronger as a result of listening to the bimby melody. When they were getting their energy back, they started dancing and telling their neighbors and friends that they have found the cure to their illness. David could not believe how his music had been such a powerful medicine to bring happiness back. He was over the moon and smiling ear to ear. In gratitude to David's medicine, all the bimby lovers around the world invited David and Sarah to travel to each country to thank them in person. The first place David and Sarah visited was Italy. They met Zoe at her house. Sarah showed Zoe how to do chair yoga while the mini bimby was cooking. Once the meal was ready, they all three sat at the table and had a delicious meal. Zoe told David and Sarah how much 19 liked her voice. She started singing and David played his guitar. They had a ball together and will remember those moments forever. There he was, David, by a stroke of luck, has used his magic with the bimby and his guitar to cure and connect the world. Even separated, they all remain together. The end.